Alright, I'm about to go live in a few seconds as I wait for this pre-roll ad thing to finish, and then I will start. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, I did not record locally, so that's why you're hearing me now. That is the thing. Anyway, we're going to start in just a moment. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop live from an undisclosed location in New York City, my last night in New York. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw that back at me. Say hello. Harold is hosting. Thank you for the host, Harold. Appreciate it as always, my friend. Thanks everybody who's joining me. I didn't stream on Thursday. I wanted to. Hi, Aristophan. Hey, Lashbrook. Welcome, welcome. Unfortunately, could not stream on Thursday. Did a test stream last night. Things looking good. Um, the reason was not my issue. Wasn't the laptop. Wasn't my streaming setup. Wasn't the settings I had in place. Wasn't the time I wanted to stream. All of that would have been fine. Honestly, the problem was the other person in this Airbnb. This is a two-bedroom Airbnb, and there was someone in another room, and all my tests, they were not around, and it was fine. I'm not super close to the Wi-Fi, but I've got a strong enough signal. This internet is decent, but it's not incredible. The actual issue was, as soon as I went go on Thursday, legitimately, they were downloading something or streaming something or doing something. They were using the internet, and the bandwidth just wasn't there for a stream. Now you're saying, well, Pat, couldn't you just been like, hey, stop doing that? And the answer is, I could do that. But I had already asked this person to do a simple, easy thing, to which they grunted at me and ignored me. So, didn't. Now, should I have been an Airbnb by myself? Should I have spent more money to get Airbnb by myself? Yes. Could I have found a place that had, you know, bragged about how good it had his internet? Certainly. Did I get a very cheap place that is near the subway in Brooklyn, undisclosed, that will get me to the airport tomorrow very quickly and as easily as possible? Yes. I did that. I was looking out for that. Wasn't looking out for other stuff. Probably should have. Didn't. So you get what you get, right? Um, that person left today. Did they leave after 11 a.m., which is their checkout time? Oh, you bet your ass they did. Uh, could I hear a person who came here at 11 a.m. to clean being very annoyed that this person was taking too long? Not only leaving their room, but also using the bathroom. So the cleaning person could only clean the kitchen and couldn't clean anywhere else until they left. Now, I don't speak Mandarin, but I do know the cadence of swear words. Aristophan says good choice. I appreciate that. And the cadence of swear words, uh, so I don't know swears in Mandarin. I do know that this particular person, this cleaning person, was definitely pissed off. And when he finally did leave, my former roommate, for a couple days, because he was here when I got in on Wednesday, um, have I mentioned? Maybe I mentioned yesterday in my test stream. He left the fucking apartment door open numerous times. Now that's because we were down one flight of stairs and he was carrying a electric bicycle. So I assume he just got the door open, put the bike in the living room, went about his business. Maybe hit the door behind him with his butt, but didn't like stop to close it. So numerous times I left the room I'm in, this room, to a door just being open. It's not my apartment, but also fuck off. So good riddance to that person. Nobody here tonight. I'm flying solo tonight, which rules. If someone is staying, they have not come. They they either came in with their stuff when I wasn't here because I was gone for a bit, or they're coming in later than now. Hi, Lord Crash, welcome, welcome. So we will give a retweet in a moment or two, letting people know, hey, we're here. Now, is this earlier than normal? Yes. So even though I'm alone, even though things have conspired against me and things have been weird, I am still playing by the rules. And the rules state that from 10 p.m. Eastern until 6 a.m. Eastern, those are quiet hours in this apartment. Now, what does quiet hour mean? Quiet hours mean? I don't really know, but I assume it doesn't mean talk for a whole hour. Uh, um, I don't know if that is uh, a thing. Aristophan asking, can they rent again in less than 24 hours? Hotels have some restrictions here due to COVID. So this is an Airbnb, not a hotel. So that is a separate thing, right? Obviously. Um, they made a point to talk about their cleaning service. The cleaning person that was here was wearing a mask the entire time they were here. They did a thorough cleaning and left. So I assume that they're not restricting days between guests, but they are trying their best to clean. They talked about the temperature they cleaned the sheets in and all that and the towels and that the person that I rented this from made a real point to go into that. I don't know if there are restrictions in between visits. Um, uh, I will say, like having any issues, haven't felt unsafe in here. I feel weird being in someone's apartment, an Airbnb. Now, normally, since I left my apartment on July 1st, and we'll get to building in a moment, we're working on a Lego set. I'll be tied you over by just showing you this Lego shark, Lego shark, Lego shark, Lego shark, do 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 do. That's just going to be my head now, so I figured I might as well put it in your head. I got a Lego shark. Um, the quiet hours, I basically figured, hey, I shouldn't talk from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. straight, which is what I do on a stream, just talk for 2 hours. So I'm not doing the quiet hour. I'm avoiding the quiet hour by streaming 8 p.m. till a little before 10 p.m. We'll still raid somebody and I'll stop talking right before 10 o'clock out of respect to the building because I don't want any issues. Now, certainly I thought more about that on Thursday. And as I said, in a different world, I would have just crashed at someone's couch. I would have couch crashed. Maybe I would have jumped from couch to couch, spent a couple nights between Wednesday, July 1st, was when I moved out of my apartment, and tomorrow when I leave for the airport. I probably would have bounced around. But in this world that we're living in right now, am I going to ask my friends, hey, can I crash with you? No, I'm not going to ask them that. I'm, I'm going to get an Airbnb and I'm going to see what happens. Um, Yeah, and also I gotta get tested anyway for some job stuff that I might have coming up. Maybe in the middle of July, I do have to go get a COVID test when I get to South Carolina for a job thing. Which the fact that they would like me to take that test, they would really like me to take that test. They said we can't force you to do it, but we would really love it if you did. I was like, yeah, all right, sounds good. Let's retweet that we're gonna start building. Get the word out. Let's build some Lego. Uh, there's a Lego. There's a Lego shark. We're just gonna retweet that we're doing this. Um, so I'm running this purely off my laptop. I've got OBS in one uh, window here. I've got my chat in another with other tabs going. Let's go to the overhead. Uh, Reminder, folks, if you use Twitch Prime, you've got to manually renew that. If you use Cash Money, you can hit that notification. Subscriptions are a great way to support the channel. I'll mention it at the 10 p.m. or sorry, I usually say 10 p.m. the 9 p.m. hour when we take our pause for the cause. I had some people cancel their Patreon because things changed a little bit and people are different aspects. But I took a big hit, a pretty big hit on Patreon. So I'll plug that later. I have an air conditioner going. If I stop talking and you hear that air conditioner and it's really annoying, let me know. If there's also a little bit of just feedback from this laptop's mic in is not the best. So that is some of the feedback we're getting is that I have discovered. It actually is worse if I also plug in my speakers or my headphones to the laptop. So I've unplugged that. And that should be good. Here's our overhead. We've got Lego on the sides. We've got some Lego in front. I did want to point out our friends here. We have Ocean Master. This is our villain. This is a villain that fights against Aquaman. I appreciate the name of Ocean Master because if he turned out to be a good person eventually, then they could keep calling him Ocean Master, even though this is clearly a villain. And we're going to keep working on these minifigs because they have water stands, because they're water based things. Not stands like JoJo, stands like place to stand. And of course, we have our friend here from Atlantis, Arthur, Aquaman. We'll put him there. There's Aquaman. And then, because we're building the Batsub, the LEGO Batsub, we've got Aqua Batman. Uh, this Batman's got a breathing apparatus and flippers. Boop, boop, boop. No cape on this one. We do have the felt cape on Air Look, I understand that a lot of times they're in Atlantis. Having a cape seems impractical for the water, for Aquamaster. Seems impractical to me. You do you, Aquamaster, but I don't know. I don't know. So Batman doesn't have a cape. And then every bat figure, I like to point this out because some people don't look at the minifigs that closely. So you can see right here, Batman's eyes there, right? That is a bar on Bruce Wayne's head. Put it there. Because the any bat helmet cowl will not work right where the eyes go. The eyes can't be in the right spot for it. So it's always just so every Batman minifig has just like this bar across above his eyes. So these are fake eyes, and this piece, his nose bracket, just blocks his real eyes. And that's look, that doesn't mean anything, and I don't care. Suspension of disbelief, whatever you want to call it. It just makes me laugh. I appreciate it and enjoy it. I think it's fun. All right. Getting some love on some tweets. Great. I appreciate the same Lego shark they had since I was a kid. Yes, so this Lego shark, it's two pieces. Lego body, Lego head. Snap these on. Got the eyes on the side. Brr. Oops. Dirty just subscribed. Back in a few to catch your stream. Gonna finish this Monster Girl Doctor before you talk about it today. Don't worry about it, Dirty. I'm not going to talk about that show, so you don't have to finish it for my conversation because I don't want to watch that show. But thank you very much for the 11 months to Tier 1. I'm going to hit the applause there. Look, will I maybe watch that show? Maybe. Let's throw the emotes in there. Oh, and you got to unlock some stuff. That's right. Pride emotes are still being unlocked. Will I maybe watch that show at some point, Dirty? Possibly. Basically, TTF 41 seconds. Here's the thing. I appreciate that show says it is by Monster Girl fans for Monster Girl fans. It's literally a tag in the promo video that Crunchyroll put out. I appreciate that they are like, hey, y'all like Monster... Did you all like Monster Musume and wish that instead of just being a dude, he was a doctor? Well, we made an anime about that. And because he's a doctor, it means he's going to meet a lot of different monster girls that are going to have monster girl problems that he'll help solve. The premise is solid for what it is. The idea is what it is. I'm probably not going to watch it. Now, am I going to watch trash this season? Yes, I am. One of the shows I'll talk about in the 9 p.m. hour, which will be the second half, which is generally where we talk about anime. Oh, you better believe one of the shows we're going to be talking about is nonsense garbage. The actual title being, I got to look the actual title up. Oh yeah, The Misfit of Demon King Academy. The Misfit of Demon King Academy. That's just pure wish fulfillment garbage. Did I love that first episode? Spoiler alert, I fucking did. And also like Fire Force. That ain't high art. That's the other show that debuted yesterday. Season 2 of Fire Force. It's good shonen. It's not great shonen. It's not Demon Slayer shonen. But it's like pretty good shonen. Anyway, yeah, I didn't watch the Monster Girl anime. So, hey, here's Arthur. Arthur's on the water. You can see there's Arthur on the water. I'm going to adjust my lighting a little bit here I can't make this too bright. It's just the room. The room isn't great for that. Sorry. Um, but you see, Arthur's holding a thing. Well, that's so that we can build some special effects water weapons. We're gonna have him keep his trident because he's Aquaman. He doesn't have a hook hand, but he does have the trident, and we're gonna keep that trident going. This is not that big of a Lego set. Honestly, I don't think that we'll get to 10 p.m. still building. I think the last part of the stream will turn into just a hangout stream because this kit should not take that long, and I already nulled it because I had time today. Um, I did get to do some cool stuff today, a little fun. I mostly hung out and got some paperwork stuff done, did some writing, did that kind of nonsense. But then my friend showed up. My lovely dear friend Daisy, one of my oldest friends in New York, was in the city this weekend visiting family. And we did a social distance hangout. And it ruled. Uh, we took a long walk and talked. We were masked up. We kept our distance from each other. And it was just fucking nice. It was just a really nice time to spend a little time with my friend who, as I said, my oldest friend. We met at level 1 of improv in the year 2002. Daisy lived in D.C. for a while, lived in L.A. for a while. Before that, has back and forth. We've been co-workers. We've been co-collaborators. Um, uh, Daisy's first indie improv team, she asked me to be on it, and then other people on the team didn't want me to be on it, so she had to say that they were restructuring, and then they just waited a little while before they did a show, which is at least she wanted me. Just other members didn't want whatever. They didn't understand. Uh, they should have had me on the team. I was very good at the time, particularly at the time. Comparatively, I was a pretty damn good improviser. But yeah, she has been a great collaborator and supporter, and I was happy to see her. And it felt nice to have like one of my last uh, run-ins with someone in New York that I know for a while anyway be her. So that was nice. I haven't really done a lot in this Airbnb. I had to do, I got here on Wednesday, and then Wednesday I tested my stream stuff for Thursday, and that didn't work out. Thursday, I rode the subway for the first time since March, since this all shut down. I haven't ridden the subway, but I had to get to a particular Verizon store. It was a list of 3 that I could go because I had to turn in my FiOS router and modem. Turns out, didn't have to bring the modem, just the router, which is whatever. Okay, fine. But I brought the router back, and they were like, cool. Here's some paperwork. Fill this out. Okay, you're good. But it was not something that I could walk to. So I had to go and actually do things, and that wasn't fun. I didn't like that. We could, instead of the evil trident, Ocean Master's trident, we are going to replace Ocean Master's trident with this, like, water ball, which also could be a fireball. But it's got a little handle. It's got a little thing on it, so you can put it in the hand. And now got a water fist. I just think that's fun. Um, so yeah, so Thursday, I wanted to stream on Thursday, and unfortunately could not stream on Thursday. I definitely, gave it a shot. But because of the other person staying in this Airbnb, that unfortunately did not work out. And so I recorded something. It's on my YouTube if you missed it. I will talk about in the second hour an anime I talked about in there. Mostly, literally for Thursday, there was nothing new to talk about. Like, there were no new shows. New shows literally started on Friday. New anime seasons of stuff and new shows. So I didn't have anything to talk about and new stuff. So new stuff is barely starting. And then also, there are a few things returning, but not many returning yet. So there wasn't really a lot to talk about. But I was able to get what I needed, get my stuff together. to record something. So I recorded. I finished off the Easy 8. So if you were like, "Oh, Pat, the last time I watched the stream was on Monday, and you were working on the Easy 8," well, I finished it off because I just wanted to be done with it, and I wanted to have some kind of content. Also, I just wanted something to do because yesterday, um, all I did was go and buy food because I had some food to last me till tomorrow, but not enough. So I just like went to a grocery store and then I like sat outside. I went and sat outside for a while at a park that near here by myself, and then I went and got uh, some grocery stuff, and then later I went back out to. I'm I should say this. I'm right near my old apartment. I'm one subway stop away from my old apartment. So I went to the Chinese food place that I go to all the time and got one last order of Chinese food because uh, I know it's still going to be fine whatever I end up getting in the future for a while, but I just wanted to support a business that I like, you know. Um, Bit rate has been all over the place here, folks. I apologize for that. We have had no drop frames though, so that's been good. No drop frames. Knock on fake wood from this little IKEA desk. Uh, I will say this has been kind of nice having this desk the way it's been set up. I took a couple photos of it. I just have my webcam clamped on the end, and you can see that like right there, but can't really see that, so who cares? Um, and then it has a little like shelving thing on the side, which is meant for a computer monitor, but that's where my laptop is facing me. And then, oh yeah, uh, somebody asked about this. They watched the stream or the video that I recorded on Thursday, and then my test yesterday. That is just to some alley. Don't worry about that. They do. The people that, or the person or people that have this apartment that use this apartment as Airbnb would prefer that I don't go out there, and I have not. So, um, happy July 4th. I say this most years. This year, particularly, it feels weird for a variety of reasons. In general, this country's independence at the hands and its general independence for some and not all, clearly, has always felt a little weird, particularly this year. As there are lots of protests continuing all across the country. July 4th on a Saturday, in a pandemic, there are just people out doing their thing, and we support that, appreciate that, of course. But yeah, uh, July 4th didn't mean freedom for all for a long time, and in many ways, it continues to not mean freedom for all. Um, I'm very glad that known nonsense person Kid Rock is not doing a concert today. Um, I would say the excuse that he didn't know what the numbers were and didn't know how bad it was out there is both not a valid excuse and feels reasonable for Kid Rock, which maybe is mean. Maybe that's cruel and harsh of me to be like, yeah, I bet Kid Rock agreed to do a concert and didn't know what Texas was going through, and didn't pay any attention and just went 4th of July concert, Texas. Yeah, all right. We're back. I totally believe that to be true and also totally like think that it sucks. And I'm glad that they canceled it. Oof. Uh, my parents are picking me up from the airport tomorrow, and we have a bit of a drive to their apartment. Their house, I should say. Apartment. Their house tomorrow. Because I leave to go there tomorrow. So there is a bit of a like discrepancy there where we were having a bit of a conversation about like where we can stop and eat for dinner. Vanilla Ice at least made a good decision to cancel it. Yeah. Um, just nonsense. Uh, Oh, that's right. It was Vanilla Ice. I was saying Kid Rock this whole time. It was Vanilla Ice, which is both better and worse. Lord Crashington, thank you for correcting me. I was saying Kid Rock, but it was indeed Vanilla Ice who was not paying attention and made a also noted nonsense person Vanilla Ice. That's right, because the joke was that he was not collaborating, but he did stop and listen. So that, which is a good joke. So appreciate you correcting me on my egregious mistake. All right, this is a dark gray piece. Put that there. This is the dumbest timeline. Yes. So my folks were like, we found a place that has indoor seating, and I was like, we shouldn't eat indoors. And they're like, you're right. We'll find a place with outdoor seating. And I was like, okay. All right. Harold says, well, fuck Kid Rock anyway. I mean, in general, yes, fuck Kid Rock. But in this particular case, I was incorrect. I had meant Vanilla Ice and said Kid Rock. It was incorrect, so I apologize for misspeaking. My computer hasn't arrived yet, y'all. I mailed that out on the 24th. Did I move on the 20th? Yeah, I mailed that out on the 24th of June. And it was like ground. And it should have arrived on Thursday and hasn't yet. Tracking says that it is in Southern Virginia. And it's got to get to South Carolina, and it was transferring to a different plane to South Carolina. So here's the thing that legitimate, like, everything is whatever, and the world is whatever it is, and I understand. So I sent on Wednesday, I spent about $100 to send 2 big boxes. One that had my desktop in it, packaged as best I could. The other had my computer monitors, packaged the best I could. 2 days later, I sent a package of just model kits in their sheets. Model kits I haven't built yet. That arrived. Now, it's a smaller box, it went in a different thing, blah, 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 all those things, right? I'm very worried about my computer not making it. I'm kind of concerned. I have to send an email to. I'm supposed to on Wednesday participate in the losers bracket of the Games Done Quick. We're doing this tournament, which has been really fun. The Gauntlet. I'm supposed to compete in the losers bracket. My laptop is not going to be able to handle that. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping my computer is just there. I don't think it'll be delivered today, but I'm hoping it shows up on Monday. I can still do model kit building. I have my other webcam. I have this. I have this. I can do the setup I'm doing here, but I can't really do much beyond that, including really do work. I kind of need that computer, and I'm also always scared about this laptop being on its last legs. So that's not good. Hopefully that'll work out okay. I don't know. I'm a little scared about it. I haven't voiced that concern on the internet, but I was hoping that I was going to get an email from my parents that like, hey, your computer, we got 2 big boxes. They arrived today, yesterday, and that didn't happen. But I also understand that everything is weird because everything is just weird. So hopefully they'll arrive tomorrow. Monday. But I am a little concerned. As I said, Monday stream, no problem. Even Tuesday right now, I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, chat. What would you like to see on Tuesday? I have options. So if my computer comes back, I might go back into Dungeons and Lesbians. That's a game we played a couple weeks ago that I got part of the bundle for Rachel Justice from Itch. That was really fun. So I'm thinking that might be what I play if I have my save from the computer. So I'm thinking about that. I'm also thinking about doing just like a anime like chat like bonus stream where I like talk about like my summer preview, because I did a video on a couple of things that'll be out on Monday, my summer preview. but I still want to do a bonus stream, and I thought that might be a fun bonus stream to do that. So I don't know. If you got thoughts, you can put them in the comments or in the chat right now. If you're watching this later on YouTube, you can also leave a comment. And hey, you can just say whatever at any time. I mean, be nice, but like, if you watch this on YouTube, if you've watched the VODs, if you're watching right now, you can just be like, "Hi, what's up?" So apparently, we're gonna store Batman's floaties here. I don't know. We're just gonna put them here. Apparently, we're just gonna. These don't seem to want to go on though. Oh, that's what this is for. I got it. So Batman has a place for his feet there. So yeah, if you have a thought about what you'd like to see on Tuesday, I will do a poll at some point once I like know my desk. Also, hey, if my desktop arrives, I still have to like make sure everything works. Like I did a good job, but maybe I didn't do a great job. Maybe I did an okay job. Maybe I didn't do a good job. I don't know. I won't know until I put it all together. I will say that I don't think I'm ever going to ship a computer again. I don't know. So the next time it's time to move somewhere, it may involve driving my computer there because I hate this. I hate not knowing where my desktop PC is. I hate the idea of make delivery guys play catch with your PC. I think it happened. Yeah. I would vote for a game stream, says Aristofan. Okay, yeah. So I might. So what I could do is, even if my desktop isn't ready, that Tuesday I could just get the game again, Dungeons and Lesbians, and then like advance the story as far as I think it went. I could theoretically just get the YouTube archive or the VOD and just watch it and like fast forward through like the double speed or whatever and make sure that I'm like doing the right thing. So I could do that. That's an option. These seem to be fairly unique. Obviously, there's probably other underwater vehicles, but this doesn't feel like a piece I've seen before, and I always like to point that out when I run into something that feels kind of new. So yeah, so I can always do that if I don't have my desktop and I don't have my save for Dungeons and Lesbians, but that's what I think I'll do. Because obviously, like, not everyone is here for anime talk, and I appreciate the folks that let me chat about anime while I'm chatting about anime. I have two shows to talk about. Look, I'm going to talk shit about a thing. I kind of mentioned it yesterday on the test stream, which was unarchived. Test stream yesterday. And I mentioned it on Thursday. I'm going to talk shit about an old anime because it was really bad. So we're going to get that in the second hour. That's something to look forward to? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? I don't know. Y'all, I've been in a weird spot. I'll say this. Hey, let's talk about technology for a second. Roku TVs. I have very little experience with Roku TVs, except to tell you that the TV I have here is a Roku TV. Now, did I link my YouTube to it so that I can watch YouTube videos on a TV? Yes, I did. Did I discover that this TV, the volume control, doesn't work when you plug in the headphones? I discovered that because in the quiet hour I was like, oh, let me have my headphones hooked up to this Roku TV instead of that. But that didn't work. Now, what you can do if you really want to do it is share a YouTube video on your laptop or computer to the Roku and then have sound, and then you can control the volume on the YouTube video on the laptop. So that's what I ended up doing last night because I wanted to respect quiet hours. So yeah. Lord Crashington says they have a Roku TV. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I'm not taking advantage of it. It's advertising that Roku has Cable Guy. I could watch The Cable Guy if I wanted to, which is a fine enough movie, but I have no interest in watching it at the moment. but I have the ability to do that. Mostly, like I said, I just logged into YouTube, and it's been kind of fun to watch YouTube videos on a TV, uh, and not watch stuff on my laptop. But at night, it was annoying because I was trying to respect quiet hours. Sorry. This I have a very long cable here, which has been very helpful for streaming. But yeah, it didn't do. It was a thing where I was just like, oh, well, why doesn't the volume on this work with this? There's a Roku TV remote app for mobile that let you route audio through the app to listen from there. Ooh, I like that. Not sure if it works for the apps or just the cable. That's cool. I like that. But yeah, I mean the TV has a headphone thing, but then the volume TV isn't the same as that, and that seems nonsensical. Um, I think that reminds me of a PAX video. Uh, One of the Loading Ready Run folks. I remember like Ben uh, uh, trying to plug in a switch to a TV, but but when he plugged in the HDMI input, didn't like the TV audio was different, so he had to go into the game and turn the game audio down. But that took enough time that it made a lot of had to like listen. I don't know. I'm half remembering a thing that happened to someone else, but I remember that being like a whole thing. That sometimes these apps aren't necessarily geared to be working perfectly for what you're trying to do. But I will say, as far as a TV in my room goes, that's pretty nice. It wasn't anywhere near this desk, and I would have had to like move the desk, and that wasn't going to be feasible. But I was like, I could probably use this as a second monitor, um, which would have been nice, but didn't end up doing that because, like I said, that would have been just a huge hassle and not worth it for what ended up being 2 hours, although 4 hours obviously. Um, because I did record that video is like an hour and a half of finishing up the Easy 8. Turns out it's a lot easier to build a model kit when you're not running a stream and chatting. It's been a little while since I did something like that. The closest I get is tearing down Lego sets to mail them out. When I do that, it is often I often don't worry about like what things sound or it's just fast and I can just do it because it doesn't really matter. Oh, we got to put some decals on here. We'll put this in there. Time to do some decal work. There are a few decals here. Now, normally I have a sponger or something else. I have those, but they're packed away in my suitcase that's going on the plane. So basically, I have a large suitcase that is going on the plane that is just full of fucking so many all my electronic stuff that I didn't feel like mailing or shipping. And then my smaller suitcase just has uh, clothes, and that's going on the plane because I paid. Because it was like the thing of like, even if this big suitcase is over the weight limit, and they charge me, it's still going to be less money than shipping a bunch of electronics and clothing and stuff. And then I just have my that, and then my backpack has some clothes in it, but it mostly is just like my laptop and stuff because the flight is short, y'all. Let me give you the rundown here of this flight that I am taking and the time it takes. Here's my itinerary. Take off 3:55 p.m. Land 5:49 p.m. So not a long time in the air. I will probably spend more time at the airport once I arrive, waiting around for my flight because uh, I have the issue of I got to be out of here at 11, and it does not take that long to get to the airport. So I am going to, but I want to get there in plenty of time. I want to give myself extra time. I don't know what the security lines are going to be like with social distancing. I don't know what the, uh, any of the experiences are going to be for waiting for things. So I just want to get there. I do know that they are boarding from the back of the plane to the front, and I am in the middle of the plane, so I don't have to be there right at the beginning of boarding, but I do need to be there at a decent time. So really, I just need my laptop for sitting at the airport. Uh, and I'm flying JetBlue, so I don't have to. That's the nice thing. I'm flying JetBlue, so I will have access to in-flight Wi-Fi, so I won't have to load up my computer with a bunch of videos tonight of things to watch tomorrow. I still will have a couple things. I'll go and like grab a couple Giant Bomb quick looks I haven't watched yet and just download them, uh, just to have something. Uh, and in fact, sometimes what I'll do at the airport is I will use um I will use my 4K downloader, downloading program, to just rip some YouTube videos just to have them locally, which I'll probably do at the airport. Uh, Thank you so much, Urban Bohemians there in chat saying, please be careful flying, Pat. I appreciate that very much. I'm gonna do my best. Uh, I'm a huge JetBlue fan. Saw that Alex is drumming in Guitar Hero games. Yes, he did the Guitar Hero World Tour, which I watched some of live, which was fun. So JetBlue has seemingly been doing the right things. There are no middle seats for folks. Um, their staff is being tested consistently. They're masked up the whole time. They have changed up their flight meals and snacks. It's somewhat limited, but it's mostly prepared stuff, and there's less options for people. But that seems like the right call. Um, I am going to do my best to social distance. As I said, the flight is not that long. I have a new mask for tomorrow that I have not worn out at all. And it is adjustable and looks pretty neat. I think I put it on and took a photo of it, but I haven't worn it in the world yet. So I have a mask just for flying. Uh, Good, because if I don't get to hug you again in a future con, you'll be sorry. Ah, remember conventions? I was talking about that with my friend Daisy today because we had a social distance hangout, which was very nice. Just nice to talk to a person and be out. We walked around. We looked at some murals and some stuff in my neighborhood that she knew about, and it was cool. But we talked about like conventions, and she was just like, "So I'm not going to go to New York Comic Con if it happens." And I was like, I might work it if it does as a free trip up to New York to maybe see people, uh, or I might have moved back by then. October, I have no idea. October feels like no. It feels like New York Comic Con, and then in November, Anime NYC, and then also, which usually is in December, but this year is scheduled for November, uh, which is PAX Unplugged, which is usually a December show. This year was a November show. That also feels like it will be like all these feel like they will get canceled. But if any show is going to happen, I could see PAX Unplugged maybe trying to do a social distance convention. Um, but I don't know. I could see that being an attempt to try to figure that out. I really hope everything goes well. The thought of being at an airport is worrying. Yes, Solf, I don't love the idea of being at an airport. I certainly don't want to do this like this. It is worrying, certainly. I am nervous about it. But that is, the alternative would have. Look, the only real alternative uh, is the idea of getting on a train and taking a very long train to South Carolina, which I also did not want to do. I felt this was better because I just don't have the cash for that. Now, I used my frequent flyer points, which I was originally going to use for Christmas because I had enough JetBlue frequent flyer miles to see my folks for free around Christmas time, at least one way. And so I'm a bit bummed I'm using them all for this, but whatever. It is what it is. Lastbrook says, I was actually scrolling through my phone pictures for a thing, and man, I didn't realize how much I miss going to stuff. Yeah! Things are fun. You can, like, do stuff and, like, be places, and that's fun. I do tend to miss that a bit. I've been pretty isolated, um, and for better or worse, that has been, you know, for better, I would say. Uh, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird being in a house with two people. Those people being my parents. Um, it's weird enough. The original plan was before COVID became a pandemic, when it was just a thing on the horizon. The original plan was my folks were going to come up to New York for my 40th birthday, um, which would have been very nice of them. So I was definitely going to see them. Of course, that didn't happen. And then they were like, "Oh, we definitely can't come to see you for your birthday." And then it became very clear that, well, I'll see you for after my birthday. And just to be clear, folks, because a few people have asked, so I got laid off last year. Timeline is I got laid off last year, and a full-time gig did not arrive, but a bunch of small stuff arrived. Enough good stuff. I streamed more. I hung out. I did more work. I cut down on expenses. I stopped paying. I started paying the minimum on my credit cards. I figured things out, and I did okay. And I was making do. And then pandemic stuff, and I'm starting to think this isn't going to go great for me because I'm already not working enough. And then a bunch of side stuff that I've been doing dried up because, of course, it did. Dried up, ended, and I was like, this isn't great. And I got a little help here and there from my folks, which I really appreciate, but that's rough on them, and that's not fair to them. But they're helping, doing what they could. And then, so my roommate moved out. He moved in with his girlfriend, and he was paying rent for a little bit, but not staying in the apartment. And then he was like, "Hey, I want to move. I'm going to move out." And I respect it and understand it. I wish he hadn't, but I respect it. I understand it. I get it. And then I couldn't find anybody else to move in, and that became my job, was to get a new roommate. Ooh, fireworks going off. I can hear that pretty loudly. Getting a roommate became my job, and I didn't get that job. So now I'm paying double rent. I'm paying. I was always paying more than my roommate because I had a bigger room and it was my apartment under my name, all the other stuff. So I start like doing the math, and what was gonna work out for a while suddenly realized can't work out anymore. Uh, and so now I am out of there. Moved out on Wednesday. Uh, I'm thinking of maybe subletting part of my storage unit to a theater group that I am good friendly terms with, that is looking to store some stuff, because uh, I have room. I didn't. Here's the thing. Here's what I didn't want to do: get a storage unit and it not have enough stuff for enough room for all my stuff, and have to throw things away after I'd already paid for movers to move my stuff. So instead, I have extra room, but I have two keys for my lock, so I could just like send my lock my a key to somebody, and then let's say like, hey, here's what it is, here's the number and all that, um, and let them take advantage of that, and possibly throw me a couple bones here and there, maybe a little monies to use that space, or just donate that room. I don't know, but I got some room in there, and it wasn't that much more a month for the storage unit, really. Uh, and it's indoors, and it is climate controlled. And the fact that it's like in a facility was the thing that really appealed to me. Instead of just being like an outdoor accessible unit, because nobody is living in their storage areas in this way, and no one is working out of that. Have you ever like seen that? That was a thing that I didn't know existed. That people have storage facilities and then run a business out of that storage facility. Like, I understand that that's where you keep inventory, but like uh, there's a guy in Florida whose name I can't remember, so I can't promote him because I don't know, and I don't know if I would. But there's a guy in Florida that sells action figures and wrestling figures and all other stuff, and he runs his store out of a storage unit. And it's just like, how does that? And maybe that's a thing, and I just never, never witnessed it, never experienced it. I'm sure there are probably also comic book shops that like run out of storage units as well. Maybe in the comments, folks, or in the chat, you can tell me if that is a thing, and I should not be surprised. But that when I realized that was a thing that people did, I was pretty dang surprised. So now I'm like, I'm glad I have an indoor one because it means that there's not stuff going on. It's just people have to go and like show ID and say where they need to go and all that. Um, and that makes to me feels a lot better. All right, I gotta find where. Does anybody know what I did with? There it is, my decal. Sorry, I got another decal to put on. Not too many decals in this, but a few. Um, I'm going to take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. We're getting close to finishing this up. As I said, this didn't feel like it was going to be a 2 hour thing, but I will take a pause for the cause in a moment, talk about ways you can support the channel if you'd like. Then we'll finish up this Lego set and kind of just hang out for a bit, probably. We'll raid. As I said, quiet hours start at 10 o'clock here, and I want to respect that, respect the rules. Uh, trying to be respectful. In agreement because, as I said, I got a very good deal on this Airbnb, so I'm trying to be respectful because I don't want to run into any issues, and also that's just my nature, is being a respectful person when it comes to the rules that other people have. All right, let's get a little of these pieces on the side going here. Do a few more steps, and then we'll take our pause for the cause. Let's see, so this goes above that, and this goes below it. And this goes like this to lock that part in. Yeah, oh. I put too much pressure on it, y'all. I put too much pressure on the Lego, and it discombobulated. It is not the first time that I have done something like that, but that is a good warning. That sometimes you feel like you're putting too much pressure on a Lego thing. You might be putting too much pressure on a Lego thing. So let's we'll recap this here. This goes on this part. These go here. This goes. But yeah, that didn't feel good when I did it. So I was like, oh no. This goes like this. Goes like that. We're in no rush, so I can just undo what I did and redo it. Not worry. Everything's cool. Just working on our Batsub. No issues. No worries. Now we'll just snap this on nice and easy. And it went on with no problem. I put too much pressure and it flew off. It's okay. Dirty says, okay, back for watching Medieval Monster Musume. I'll give it 3 episodes. Yeah, I mean, that's, as I said, that is more than I planned to give it. I didn't really watch Monster Musume. Now, am I going to watch some garbage? Yes, I said. As I said, we're going to talk about a couple garbage things that I'm watching. There's at least one more coming. Uzumaki-chan Wants to Hang Out has not debuted yet. I'm going to watch that. But that is a romantic comedy about college students where one of them is a short and busty and knows that her appearance makes the guy that she's bothering, that she enjoys bothering, like feel, like uncomfortable. And it is because she likes him. And that is, to me, a different thing than Monster Girl fans made a Monster Girl thing about a medieval post battles with monsters world where a doctor helps out monster girls in various situations. Um, it could be great. I bet it is not, and it just is not a thing that I'm interested in seeing. But as I said, I mean, I'm watching stuff that I can't be like, this rules. I mean, I'm going to try to watch a few things that are great. There are a couple shows coming out that I'm Decadence looks cool. God of High School looks like it's going to be interesting, and apparently there's more plot to it than just it's a fighting tournament of high school students. Apparently there's some more plot to it. But that looks neat. There's some stuff this season that I'm like, yeah, and there's some stuff this season that I'm like, I don't know. All right, we will continue here in a moment or two. Pause for the cause, folks. This is the part of the stream where I talk to you. I'm going to go to this thing here and say, hey, here are ways you can support the stream if you're so inclined. You are under no obligation to do so. Uh, Dirty, yes. Exorose, which literally has hentai in the title of the manga, which is basically a not idol, but a superhero squad of ladies that if they're feeling amorous, they're better fighters. I'm not gonna watch that. That doesn't sound like something I want to watch. Some folks are throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. I appreciate that. If you're a subscriber, you can throw those emote in there. Reminder: if your renewal notification comes up and you're paid person, you can hit that notification button so we all know that you renewed. If you use Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime, you link to your Amazon Prime, you get your Twitch Prime. You're subscribing that way. You have to manually renew that. Please do if you can. It helps me out so much, and I appreciate it very much. Gifting subs. We are still doing Pride here, even though it is July, because it started late because of the world. And Twitch rightfully realizing that we were focusing on the Black Lives Matter movement, which we are still actively engaging with, but they had delayed their Pride promotions and then modified them some. So Pride's still happening. So if you donate 300 bits or more, you unlock some subs. Or some emotes, I should say. You can gift subs. It's July. Nobody is at the top of the gift sub, and no one is top of the cheer. So any gifting of subs, any cheers will get you to the top of the leaderboard, and it you help me out, and I appreciate it. Again, you're under no obligation to do any of that stuff. You don't have to do anything like that. You don't even have to ever subscribe. If you want to hit the follow button, that's awesome. If you just want to keep an eye on my Twitter and join me when I tweet, also rad. Let's see. Okay, we got a good thing here. Great. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. You are, again, under no obligation to do so. I said subscribing. Great way to support the channel. Another way to support the channel is to join the Patreon. I had a $10 patron drop, and I had a $3 patron drop. Harold just cheered 1. Thank you so much, Harold. You are now the top of the leaderboard. We appreciate that very much. Going to hit my soundboard thingy here and give you some applause. Yeah, you're now top of the leaderboard. But yeah, I have a Patreon. Now, if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, just hit the show description. You can find all these links. We're going to get back to Lego building in just a moment or two. We don't have a lot left in this kit, but we have a few things left to do, and we will do that. So yeah, my Patreon. That's a great way to support the channel. As I said, I lost a few patrons. If you feel like joining that or upping your pledge, that would be rad. You're under no obligation to do any of that, but that's a way to do it. Way to support. Let's see. Also, you can monies. I have a money thing. Coffee, Streamlabs, PayPal, anything you donate. So, Patreon, Twitch, ad revenue for YouTube. I'm due probably by the end of the year. It's slow on getting ad revenue coming in. But my coffee, my Streamlabs, and PayPal, if it comes in during the stream, it goes to buying kits and equipment. I'm not don't think I'm going to need equipment for a bit, but kits always appreciated. Speaking of which, I do have an Amazon wish list. I updated it a little bit recently. I know a few people have sent me some stuff around my birthday, and it looks like a few of those things have arrived ahead of time in South Carolina, so I will be building those there. I have a few things in my own backlog. I put up a few new things, some Lego sets, some kits that look pretty cool. These are some high grades. A few of them feel a little expensive. Maybe you don't want to spend $31 or $33 on there. Uh, and I totally understand that. But I put a few things up on the wish list, different kind of things that I would like to buy or build. Definitely don't spend $44 on a Lego set that's listed there. It'll come down in price. But that's an option. Another option, if you want to support the channel and you don't want to do things through Amazon, is you can buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. Then you send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter. My DMs are open. And you buy a gift card there. Akito, welcome. Hello. Um, and yeah, you could buy a gift card there, and then I'll probably pre-order something cool from USA Gundam Store. I have a Discord. I'm going to link that. Again, we're going to get back to building in just a moment. We're working on a Lego set here, but I do like to do a pause in the middle. It's my ad break, basically. I got a Discord. Join my Discord. I post build photos all the time. People post photos they're working on. We had a bunch of cool little photos in the build channel that has been rad. Let's see. A couple of videos I did. I'll have a new Pat Bear's Anime Club going up on Monday, but today I'll say, hey, if you want to hear about my favorite shows from last season and some shows that I can't wait for to come back because they had been delayed, that was last Pat Bear's Anime Club. There's a new one coming. And then on Wednesday, I did Baering the List. Baering the List is my ongoing weekly series where I rank things. Glad I did this one in advance. Next week's also done in advance and is ready to go, so I don't have to worry about it. I ranked beverages. Someone made a tier ranking of beverages. They threw in a few oddballs, a few curveballs. The thing I found out is people have opinions about Mountain Dew that do not align with my own opinions about Mountain Dew, and that's okay. And a few people were not happy about my liking of Big Red, which I just think is a good drink. That's fine. They don't have to like that. Anyway, all right, we're going to get back to building, and we're going to talk about anime. It's time to talk about anime. Code Red for the win. Yeah. I don't really like Gatorade, and I don't really like Mountain Dew. And so people had opinions. Anyway, I got 3 anime shows to talk about. Let's go to the overhead. Let's keep working on this Batsub. We don't have a lot left to build. Dirty says, if you fly through Columbia, can you see if you can find the hat I lost there back in last millennia? Unfortunately, I will not be flying. Thank you for redeeming. I appreciate that, Dirty. But no, I'm direct flight here from JFK to Charleston. I fly into Charleston, South Carolina. Now you say, Pat, aren't you staying in a city that has, or a town area that has an airport? Yes, but that airport is not a direct flight to New York. That airport, I would have to go to Charlotte and then transfer. And I don't feel like doing that. So instead, we just drive, and it takes a while. I lost another hat there, too. Dirty, I'll keep my eyes peeled, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to help you. Anyway, I got to talk about some anime stuff, because new anime happened. We had Season 2 of Fire Force. Now, is Fire Force a good shonen? Yes. Is it a great shonen? No. Was this episode fun? Pretty fun. It was mostly silly. There was some plot. The overall idea is in a world where human combustion happens and firefighters are monster slayers because demon stuff is real and fire demons are real. Then also some people have some fire powers, and firefighters are superheroes in a way. And we got a kid, and he's trying his best to be a hero. And he is kind of dumb, but not super dumb. Kind of smart, but kind of dumb. And he's with a ragtag bunch of folks. We saw some people. We got to see people's powers. We got to see people's personality. There's a thing about a men's calendar that was most of the episode, which felt weird. But really, we're not like stuff's gonna happen. He's still got to track. Shinra's still got to track down his brother, and again, he's got to break the mind control that his brother is under, and reunite him. Reunite the members of his family. That is a thing that dude's got to do. So he's still got that on his plate, which is a lot. And they still have to like unravel the mystery and fight some people, and it's a whole thing. Are there going to be new characters coming in? Apparently, there's going to be a new villain character that seems to be a rather thick young lady, and that'll be interesting to see how good or bad that goes. There's a black character, which could be incredible or could be incredibly stereotypical. You never fucking know. So we'll see how that goes. There's a bunch of stuff that could be coming that could be great or terrible. Hi, Xandra, welcome. But I would say, as far as Shonen goes, Fire Force is fun. It's back. It doesn't piss me off like One Piece, where things actually happen in the episodes, because One Piece is the slowest thing in the world. I actually don't know if I'm going to watch the new episode that comes out like during the stream or right after the stream. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I might just let a bunch of episodes build up again, because it's hard to be into that show. But hey, if you're a subscriber, I was enjoying this build. I was eyeing this build. Look, see, yeah, it's a pretty simple build. It's pretty easy. I like the shark. I like the scuba Batman. We have his scuba flippers are on this here. It is a pretty fun kit. So yeah, Fire Force. It's all right. Oh, that's weird. There must be. Is there a more connect? Okay, so a thing that is cool and weird about this is that this front piece, the front pod piece, and the back piece are only connected by this one part here. And so it's got a lot of movement. And that's pretty fucking rad. I didn't know that. There's no connect. That's pretty neat. You said the gray shark. Yes, this is very traditional gray shark, two-piece gray shark. We also have Aquaman and underwater Batman. That's pretty neat. Okay, so new anime. You're saying to yourself, Pat, there's new anime, right? There's not a lot of new anime, and some of the new anime you're not watching, but there's new anime. What's up with this new anime? And to you, I say, I can't tell you that you should definitely watch the Misfit of Demon King Academy, which is on Crunchyroll. But I will tell you that I very much enjoyed the first episode of the Misfit of Demon Academy. Oh, I should also point out real quick, if I can, before I get into the Misfit of Demon King Academy. Demon King, not Demon Academy, Demon King Academy. Fire Force Season 2 is available on Crunchyroll and Funimation, but I prefer Crunchyroll's web player specifically, the web browser player for Crunchyroll, so I watched it on Crunchyroll, but you can also watch it on Funimation. Dirty says the animation quality was pretty right in the show. Yeah, so Misfit was supposed to be out this previous season. It was supposed to be a spring show, and it got delayed. And I think that it benefited from the delay pretty clearly. So there was a demon lord, the Demon King, the man that rose above all other demons. He did stuff. He was maybe not a great guy, but he had a philosophy, and he had a ruling thing. And demons ruled the earth. And then he got bored or something. He made some mistakes. He had some regrets. We don't know. But he died. And it was said that he'd be resurrected one day. And part of the reason why there's the Demon King Academy is to find the next Demon Lord for when he returns. Guess what? Our dude is back. And guess what? People do not believe him. They do not believe it. They are calling him the Misfit because his test scores are wacky. Because he has a 0 in magic ability because he broke the thing that was supposed to be reading his magical number. Uh, it's just his magic is off the charts. His abilities are odd. He beats a guy that is supposed to be of royal blood. That is a royal blood. He beats him up real bad and real easy and makes him like. Here's the thing that doesn't make sense for the show. I get that you're like, oh, he's a misfit. He doesn't make any sense. But he seems incredibly capable, like immediately unbelievably capable. And like even if you're like, this doesn't make sense, you should be like, hey, I think he might be the Demon Lord reborn. Yes, Dirty points out, dude is only 1 month old. Apparently, he revived himself and he was reborn, but he didn't like want to be a child. He like was born with all his memories, and so he just aged himself up into enough time within the span of a month to be old enough to go to school. And then his parents are humans, and just seem so nice. They seem like really sweet and nice. Oh, so one thing you could do is you can take the these things that are part of the weapons here. We can take these off, and these can be water coming out of this to not just signify weapon water, but also water coming out of this, which is pretty neat. His parents are great because they are just really supportive, nice people that like kind of don't. Their son has magical abilities and in 1 month became an adult and is going to school. In his teens. We don't know his age, but he's in his teens. But that was a month, and that doesn't make any sense, and that shouldn't be a thing. They're just going to go with it. It's a very cute, silly, fun show that I really like and I really recommend. If you like, here's what you got to like. Here's what you got to like. Do you like overpowered main characters who are confident and even when curveballs are thrown at them, know they're going to win at the end? That casual, cool thing seems good. If you like magic school settings, these are demons, but it's a magical school settings. It's good. If you like Deadere characters, because we've only met one other real character in the anime, and she seems just like kind of nice. She's got magical abilities. She doesn't really seem like a demon. Why she at the Demon Lord Academy? But she seems like pretty sweet and nice, and doesn't really talk a lot. Great. You got that. And if you like, if you like those things, this seems like the show for you. It is trash. But I am not here to tell you that trash is bad. Sometimes trash is great. And in this particular instance, I think that the Misfit of Demon King Academy, it's on Crunchyroll, is very good trash. I am very much excited about this show. This is the kind of show I like. I'll watch the first episode again very soon because I think it is exactly the kind of show that I'm into. He's pompous, but also he's the former Demon King. And I love that. I love it because this one seems complete nonsense. Now, Demon Lord Retry, which has some stuff that is not fun about it. One of the reasons why I think that worked really well with its premise was demons were not as strong as he was. He was calling himself a demon lord, but no one believed him because like demons were not the strongest creature. In this one, this dude is clearly off the charts overpowered. It'll be interesting to see what happens. There's the girl in the show, her sister is another main character. We haven't met her yet, so that'll be kind of interesting to see what happens in episode 2. We're done with our Lego here. As I said, I didn't think this was going to take the full 2 hours. So we've got Aquamaster, we've got a shark, we've got our Aquaman, we've got our Batsub. As I said, my favorite thing about the Batsub is that you can just hold it here, or you can do this and be like, ooh. A lot of weird movement involved in that, which I think is great. Let's put Batman in there. We'll put Batman in. And the last thing I want to talk about is I mentioned this a little bit last night, and I mentioned it on my Thursday non-stream video. Look, sometimes you're like, hey, anime, there's not new anime right now, and some of the stuff that's returning is going to re-air its previous episodes in Japan, so so there's nothing. So if you like, for instance, if you're excited about the new season of Food Wars, well, they're re-airing the first couple episodes that they already aired before they aired the new episodes. So right now, nothing for you. Eventually, new stuff coming back. Sure. But if you're like me and you're like, well, I'll watch some old stuff, you might be seduced by the acquisition of new anime that was or old anime that's new to Crunchyroll, and you might watch the 2003 anime Air Master. And I will tell you right now, don't. It's bad, y'all. Is the premise solid about a gymnast who is a tall, too muscular to be a gymnast, who becomes a street fighter because she just likes the idea of the thrill of a fight? That's pretty cool. Is it weird that she's a high school student and often fights in her school uniform, so there are just a lot of like upskirts? Yeah, that's not cool. And a lot of her offense is kicking people? Yeah, that's not great. Are all her friends not cool? Because they are all weird in their own way. Like she's got a little friend that I bet gets kidnapped all the damn time that is just like a loud weirdo, and like I'm just not into it. I do not like that voice actress. I do not enjoy the choices that voice actress is making. I'm not a big fan of that. So that's weird. Uh, and then there's like the quiet hot one that wears a different uniform that I bet also gets kidnapped. There's the tough one that isn't actually that tough comparatively, and then there's just like the other one that I don't know anything about. She was just like asking. She was the one asking other people in the crowd watching the street fights questions. Uh, Dirty asked, "Is it better or worse than the anime about butt wrestling on a platform in a pool?" So here's the thing about that terrible anime. They're differently bad. Because that anime knows what the fuck it is. That anime says, hey, we're actually going to like be a little subversive in some things. We're going to like talk about a few things in some ways, but like also we know what the fuck kind of anime we are. Whereas this one is like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? You're seeing objectivity, like you we're just presenting this character. She's wearing a lot of clothes. What are you talking about? It's disingenuous. Whereas the butt one is just a nightmare nonsense thing, but like gets what it is. Like, and I'm fine with that. So I would say Airmaster. It's 27 episodes, which seems like a very weird number. Usually, that's just a weird number. But that's all out there, and you can watch that if you wanted to. There was the question about let's see, what other question was there? Oh, there's a new anime called Relights that was on Funimation. I did not watch that. That seems to be a school thing, but it's like not superheroes, but like Sentai, but singing, and it just didn't look good. I might end up watching it. Lashbrook says, on the subject of old things, I just figured out CBS All Access is missing an episode of Korra. Oh, that sucks, Lashbrook. Oh, that sucks. I hate that when you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna rewatch all this, and you're like, oh no. Um, oh, I'm getting people liked my OnlyFans tweet. Hey, public forum being my streams, a Pat Bear public forum. Since we finished this Lego set, I'm just going to talk to you for a second here. Sorry. Hey, remember when Kickstarter was new? Now, there had been crowdfunding before. There had been fundraiser things. But most of the time, when people want to do a fundraiser, they just like got a space donated and they put on like skits and plays, or they did like a spaghetti dinner and you came and you did a raffle. Or people were like, hey, I have a PayPal. Send me some money. I want to do a thing. And then there were other crowdfunding things as well. But then crowdfunding kind of really kicked off. You remember crowdfunding when it really kicked off and we were like, hey, ha ha ha. What do you mean you have an idea and you want to do something? You want my money to do that thing? But then like people you like and respect started doing it. And people you're like, yeah, you should have a podcast. I'll help you get equipment. I'll fund that Kickstarter. Yeah, this game seems rad. You should make that video game. You're going to make a tabletop thing? People I already like and respect? Hell yeah, please take my money. And it just became another way to do things. And Patreon. Remember Patreon? When you were like, you have a Patreon? Ha ha ha. Cool, I guess. Weird. What do you have a Patreon for? What do you do? And then you're like, you guys left your jobs? And now you have a Patreon? Yeah, sure. Of course. I don't have a lot of money, but here's a couple dollars every month. Or I've got some money now. I'll give it to you. What's the reward tier look like? Oh, cool, cool. And it just became a thing. People were like, it that made sense. That's also, yeah, that's also OnlyFans. So just get ahead of yourself. Yes, indeed, I have a Patreon. Get ahead of yourself. I'm not talking to you individually. I'm talking to you collectively. 20 viewers right now. People watch this later on YouTube. People watch the VODs. Another 20 or so people total. Collectively, do yourself a favor and just get on board. Don't joke about people's OnlyFans. Don't joke about like, oh, well, you should start an OnlyFans. Just accept that it's a thing. Now, some people move to OnlyFans from Patreon because they do lewd shit. And that's what you're thinking of. Did you know that comedians who are not funny are also on OnlyFans? Did you know that comedians that are funny on OnlyFans? Did you know that artists and musicians and also people that take lewd photos of themselves dressed up like Misty from Pokemon, they're all on OnlyFans? Because right now, OnlyFans is not shitty to people that are sex workers. Who knows how long they won't be? Maybe they'll get some funding and suddenly be shitty. Patreon could not wait to be big enough to be shitty to people that are in marginalized groups and marginalized folks. But it's just another revenue stream. I think OnlyFans is a pretty cool interface and works pretty good. And is it a thing where I also give money to a few friends of mine that do things where I'm like, this is weird? Yeah. But also, sure. If Patreon starts becoming a real nightmare, I'll move to OnlyFans, and I won't even laugh about it. I'll smile a little bit about it and say like, hey, join my OnlyFans. The main reason why I don't have one right now is because I don't want to manage another one and feel like I'm not doing my best to shift things. Also, OnlyFans right now feels like it's more interested in photo sharing and small video than it is in long form video, which is what most of my Patreon rewards are. But it might be another thing to just do that. Also, that's not really a tier thing. OnlyFans is really set up right now for join at this level, and then if you want to tip, you can tip for things, and then there's also additional purchases. It's set up. It's not really set up for what I want to do, which is really is Patreon as a tip jar and having the different tiers. So I don't think I'm necessarily going to do that. But it's just another way of people earning whatever they can. Artists, people who are doing the work and trying to do stuff. Like, hey, also, can I just fucking say, as far as lewd and rude shit goes, we should be tipping extra for people that can do anything like that in the fucking 2020. There's a pandemic going on, and people are still taking off their clothes, and it's and like trying to look like, oh, or whatever. Like, that's a fucking skill. That is, people are just fucking sad, y'all. And to be able to do that, or like folks that are part of their thing is fitness, or which I'm not saying positive or negative about. That's just part of their thing, but trying to keep themselves feeling good about how they look because that is tied into their income. Like, it's fucking hard and rough out there, and I have full and total respect for folks that do it. So let's just get ahead of the game uh, when it comes to OnlyFans and just get on board with it. And I didn't mean to have a soapbox. There's fireworks happening. Harold mentioned there are fireworks where you are. There's fireworks where I am right now, and it is a lot, and that's fine. But yeah, let's just get on board with it. Uh, there's a stand-up. Big J Okerson has a OnlyFans, and it comes up in my suggestions, and I used to laugh about it because I was like, ha ha ha, yeah, this cosplay person and this person who used to do a lot of modeling on Instagram, and this person who their Patreon shut down, and then also this stand-up comedian, or all, and then I was clicking through the free ones because you gotta look around, see what's up out there, what's going on. There's like this like libertarian comedian, and I was like, I bet this is awful, but congratulations, dude, on having an OnlyFans. I bet your libertarian comedy is real bad. But that doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that. Anyway, I had this rant in me, and I tweeted a little bit about it. And I don't regret that because I think that it is cool. Um, I'm pretty much done with the stream. I am going to wrap up. I do apologize for not being able to stream fully on Thursday. We had no drop frames. Is good. When I get to my folks, I will be streaming on Monday because I'm flying out tomorrow, Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, back to the original start time. As always, at the very least, I'll have my laptop. So if my computer has not arrived on Monday, knock on fake wood, then my computer will arrive on fucking Monday. Hi, Azuna. Yeah. We are going to go and raid. I'm going to go figure out who we should raid. So we will do that because that's just proper and that's the way to do it. So we will go and give a raid to somebody. So I'm going to figure that out there. But we will be back. At the very least, I'll have my laptop. I'll have my gear. The gear I'm using for this, I'll have with me. So even so even if there's an issue, I'll still have my stuff. If my desktop is not ready to go and things are working weird, trying to see who's doing stuff that would be cool for us to go. And they're not live. Saturday night. Some of my usuals are not streaming right now. Let's see. Thanks, Pat. Good luck with the computer. Appreciate that, Aristofan. Yeah, I'm just hoping that it's there when on Monday. That's the hope. Uh, we'll see. Sometimes stuff shows up on Sunday. Sometimes UPS does packages on Sunday. Maybe it'll arrive tomorrow. I don't know. Let's see. Oh. Dirty just cheered too. Said have a good flight. Thank you very much. Let's go. Joe Kim is doing Minecraft stuff. So let's go. Let's go raid Joe Kim. That'll be a good raid. Saturday night chill Minecraft. That sounds pretty good. Harold just cheered 3 to make sure Harold's back in the top of the leaderboard. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, Harold. But yeah, we're gonna go give a raid to Joe Kim. Feel free to join. If you don't feel like joining the raid, that's okay. You don't have to worry about that. Dirty just cheered 3. We're in a low stakes cheer war. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And we're going to go raid. Feel free to come along. If you don't feel like coming along, that's okay. And I'll be back 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday. At the very least, I'll have this. I don't know what kit I'm going to build. It'll be something that came in from my wish list, and I don't know what has arrived. So I literally will make that announcement on Monday because I don't know what it is yet. But it'll be something from my wish list. Harold just cheered 20, jumping up to the top. I almost don't want to lose this cool little war, but it's okay. We're going to go. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here on this weird stream. Good night.